Have you ever lost something that looked small to everyone else, but meant your entire world to you? Most people think a wedding ring is just a piece of jewelry, a circle of gold, a symbol. But mine carried an entire lifetime of memories. My name is Sarah. I'm a single mother, and the day I lost my wedding ring, I thought I had lost the last piece of my husband. I had no idea that losing it would teach me the most important lesson of my life. My husband, Daniel, passed away 7 years ago. A drunk driver changed my world in a single night. One moment I was planning our daughter's birthday party. The next, I was planning a funeral. Emma was only 4 years old. She kept asking when Daddy was coming home. I never knew how to answer. The only thing I never took off after his death was my wedding ring. It reminded me of the promises we had made, the dreams we had shared, the life we were supposed to grow old together. Whenever life became difficult, I touched that ring. It made me feel less alone. Being a single mother wasn't easy. I worked mornings at a bakery, evenings cleaning offices. Every dollar mattered. Every hour counted. Some nights I cried after Emma fell asleep, not because I wanted to give up, but because I was exhausted. Still, every morning I smiled for her, because children deserve hope, even when their parents are struggling. One Saturday afternoon, Emma and I visited the neighborhood park. She laughed as she chased pigeons across the grass. For the first time in weeks, I laughed too. Then my phone rang. It was work. While talking, I helped Emma climb the playground ladder. A few minutes later, I looked down at my hand. The ring was gone. At first, I thought it had slipped into my pocket. I checked everywhere. Nothing. My heart started racing. Emma noticed my face. "Mommy, what's wrong?" I forced a smile. "I lost something important." She immediately knelt beside me. "I'll help you find it." For 3 hours, we searched every inch of that park. Under benches, near the swings, around the sandbox. As the sun began to set, the park lights came on. Families slowly went home. The ring never appeared. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not because of the gold, but because it felt like losing Daniel all over again. I blamed myself. How could I lose the one thing I promised never to take off? The next morning, Emma handed me a crumpled drawing. It showed our family, me, her, and Daniel standing between us with giant angel wings. Around my finger, she had carefully drawn a bright yellow ring. She smiled. "Now you have it again." I hugged her tightly, trying not to cry. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Life slowly moved forward. The empty space on my finger remained. Sometimes strangers asked why I wore no jewelry. I simply smiled. Some stories were too painful to explain. Exactly 1 year later, Emma's elementary school organized a community cleanup day at the same park. She begged me to come. I almost said no. The memory still hurt, but I couldn't disappoint her. While children collected litter, an elderly groundskeeper slowly approached me. He held a tiny velvet pouch. "I've been hoping you'd come back someday." My heart skipped. He carefully opened the pouch. Inside was my wedding ring. I stared at it in disbelief. He smiled gently. "I found it buried in the grass while planting flowers last spring." I asked around. No one claimed it, so I kept it safe. Tears filled my eyes. After an entire year, it had finally come home. He placed it into my hand. It felt exactly the same. Warm, familiar, comforting. Without thinking, I slipped it onto my finger. Then, I stopped. Something felt different. I looked toward Emma. She was laughing with friends, running freely across the playground, happy, confident, growing up. In that moment, I realized something Daniel would have wanted me to understand years earlier. The ring had never carried his love. I did. The memories weren't trapped inside gold. They were alive, inside every lesson he had left behind. Every bedtime story Emma still remembered. Every kindness she showed others. Every smile that looked just like his. I gently removed the ring again. The groundskeeper looked surprised. I smiled through my tears. I think someone else needs this memory more than I do. A few weeks later, I donated the ring to a local museum's exhibition about community history and family heirlooms. Beside it, I included one short note. "Love isn't measured by what we keep. It's measured by what we continue to give. People sometimes ask whether I regret giving it away. The answer is always the same. No. Because every time someone reads that note, Daniel's story lives a little longer. And Emma grows up knowing that her father's greatest legacy wasn't a wedding ring. It was the love he left inside us. Last month, Emma graduated from high school. Before the ceremony began, she quietly slipped something into my hand. A simple silver ring. Not expensive, not fancy. Inside were engraved 5 small words. You'll never walk alone. I smiled through tears, because in that moment, I understood something I wish I'd known years ago. Love never disappears. It simply changes the hands that carry it. If you've lost someone you love, don't be afraid of moving forward. Moving forward isn't forgetting. It isn't replacing them. It's carrying their love into tomorrow. Sometimes, the most precious things we lose lead us to the greatest treasures we never knew we already had. And that's why losing my wedding ring turned out to be the most meaningful goodbye I could have ever received. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe this channel to see more heart-touching story. See you in the next video.